Traditional fishes in Sibuti are strengthened by their united and close-knitted community. Most of the people here depends on fish as a diet and income to feed their family. They are mainly entrepreneurial and they have been selling fishes for most of their lives. The late Pakcik Noh, a Marian traditional fisher, had always inspired Haziq with the possibilities of transforming the lives of the traditional fishers. He had shared all possible pain points, needs, gaps, and opinions in making that difference for themselves. He started the Pemukat Noh design and tested a number of prototypes. He finds it challenging to bring the product out to market, and that was the seed of the Milaud. We had to figure how to ensure that fishers could afford the Pemukat Noh, and came upon the wicked problem.
We realized the wicked problems, as we call them, were the problems that we would need to be able to solve in order to help uplift and modernize traditional fisheries in Malaysia. Some of these problems include lack of ICT, no sales record, and also the fact that they are unable to gain market access due to middlemen being a part of the supply chain. As a result of this, fishers feel the stress and the need to be able to continue fishing and make up the income that they get from all these problems and supply chain issues. So they undertake destructive fishing practices in order to be able to continue making more or be able to make the same amount of income that they had before.
Poverty in traditional fishermen are quite common. That is because they are trying to catch fish and sell it, and that's the only job they can do. And if they can't catch fish, they won't be getting any income, and they only have to feed for themselves as their family, and won't have the opportunity to sell it.
The challenges that I realized was to come up with a model that fits into the whole questions that came to us. And that is when we realized that by providing values for traditional fishers in many different ways would actually be an initiative to allow us to sustain ourselves through the support of our contributors who believes in the commitment and would love to commit together with us from the ground rather than just the impacts and the measures, and to begin scaling this work up to a point where it's making differences.
Demi Laut is a combination of two words. Demi means for the sake of, Laut means the sea. So Demi Laut means for the sake of the sea. So what is it all about? Demi Laut is about modernizing traditional fishes along the supply and value chain. It is about providing market access through digital fish trade, making fishes more bankable, providing grassroots solutions, bottom up, and it's about marine sustainability and food security, leveraging and promoting citizen science, leveraging on technology and investing in the plight of the fisher. It is about empowering a community.
It is through the EWC Innovation Fellows that we have the opportunity to understand the importance of scientific approaches in our work, building facts to prove the weight of the problem the fishers are facing and to measure with varying impact measurement and management tools with adequate case studies and networking with fellow innovators. Demi Laut now has come up with 3 micro-projects with an objective to highlight the impacts of a community-driven solution.
Project Eden 1.0 comes from the name Haji Eden himself, who is a traditional fisherman from Sibuti, Sarawak, a place within Borneo. And for what we did in Project 1.0 was providing Haji Eden with funds to acquire a Pemukat Noh, a net hauling device that allows him to decrease labor and manpower while pulling the nets. I was assigned to the ground team in this project to gather data we needed ready the permukaan note to install it on Haji Idin's boat, ready the SOPs, guiding him to inculcate sustainable fishing practice and help him with increasing his sales by selling it digitally to customers in the city. Bala Sibuti, where Haji Idin is from, is around 1 to 2 hours away from the main city, and that is why we could help him to sell his catches further and digitally.
Project Eden 1.0 have been a great success to Demi Laut, and we came up with our second fund, that is Project Eden 2.0. As we're connecting Haji Eden with online platform and businesses, we discovered that these businesses shy away from small-scale fishes due to inconsistency of fish quality. We realized the problem and importance of cold chain management along the seafood supply chain. Haji Eden spent more than 70 ringgit for bags of ice per trip. And during this challenging pandemic season, it's quite hard for them to sell their fishes. Demi Laut raised funds to provide Haji Eden with a reusable ice pack rental micro business. It allows him to rent out ice pack to his fisher colleagues up to 14 times less than ice filled bag will cost.
One of the solutions that Demi Laut has in an upcoming project is digitization of the fish trade, where we use AI and IoT to be able to categorize fish and also count them. One of the things that really benefits from this is the management of IUUs and also being able to communicate with the market and understand how many fish are coming in, how many fish are in the market already, and how many fish will we be needing in the future. So adjusting for supply and demand and also being able to communicate that to fishers using IoT.
There are actually a bunch of souls, who see the needs of others beyond their own, to keep the fisher people's best interests are what propel this group to earnestly work on.
I have learned a lot about business through them, about business which springs from the souls of good-hearted people. I'm confident that Demi Laut will grow from strength to strength. For the sake of the sea and humanity, Demi Laut has got to succeed.
And we'd like to keep on going to a point that we would understand how we effectively would also be able to contribute not only to the traditional fishes, but as well to the rest of the grassroots that had been overlooked.